Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today I'm going to be going through this new rare that's coming to the game. I'm pretty excited about actually. So she is called Frozen Banshee. I've got her leveled. So I think she came, let me just make sure I've got this right. I think she came from the Gold Pass. Yeah, she came from the Gold Pass literally right at the start. So anyone who buys the Battle Pass, buys gold, you'll get this champion right from the start. She has got some pretty decent kit. So she has got an A1 which lays poison. When booked 100% of the time, hits 2 times. Each hit has got 100% chance of laying the big poison for 2 turns. This is massive, but it only lays it if there's poison sensitivity on the target. So she's got an A3 and currently she's the only champion in the whole game that does this. She has got an A3 which has got a 10% chance of laying this poison sensitivity debuff for 2 turns, but it increases by 10%. So it starts off as a 10% chance, increases for another 10% for each debuff on the target. So if you've got a bunch of champions that can lay debuffs on pretty quickly and then she goes after them, she's got a good chance of laying this. When she lays it, any poison then has got this poison sensitivity debuff. So this is a 25% one. Later in the game when they bring more champions, there's going to be a 50% one as well. It basically means that your poisons are going to do another 25% of their damage. So at the moment, if you're a Nightmare or Ultra Nightmare and your poisons are ticking away for 50,000, you're going to get another 25% damage. So a quarter of that again, which is what? 12,500. So you're going to get another 12,500 for every poison tick that's on the Clanboss. In some instances, this may be better for you than even running a weaken. So just bear that in mind. This is potentially quite a big debuff changer. When we get the 50% debuff sensitivity, then that will be massive. You know, you get an extra 25k per poison tick per round. So big opportunities here. She's also, so she's an attack-based champion. So all of her skills base off of attack. See those? I didn't show you her A2 actually. So her A2 fills turn meter of allies for each debuff on the target. So potentially you get 20% turn meter fill for each debuff that's running here. So again, that is big if you're running a speed composition. So she has got really, really strong base stats for an attack-based champion. For a Clanboss champion, and that's I think where she's going to be at her best, she has got good base defense, which means you can boost her defense up and make her tanky, which is what you need for Clanboss. Her attack is okay, we don't really care about that so much. Her HP is strong for an attack-based champion for a rare. She's got decent speed as well, so all in all, she's got everything you need. She also comes with a 10 accuracy. Now, I'm pretty certain, is it? Oh, maybe there is some. I've not really noticed that people have got that. Most people have come with 0. You see here, going through them, zeros. So Bella actually just had 15 there. I didn't realise that. But most people, when I look through champions, have basically got 0 as their base accuracy. So it's quite rare to find anybody. You see the way I'm going through all of these? Pretty much all of them have got 0s. The only other one I've just seen there was Bella that had some. Okay, we've got some here on Dracomorph as well. So it's very rare anyway. Very rare for people to have any sort of base level accuracy. She comes with 10. Now it's not a lot, but it's still an extra 10. And you know, any accuracy you can get is great. So I have geared her in good gear here. She has got speed gear across the board. It's 6-star pretty much, apart from a couple of 5-star pieces. I'm going to throw her into my Ultra Nightmare Clanboss team as my first test. So what have I done? I've made her 179 speed, 4.2k defense, 38k HP, 272 accuracy. She is going in there to be one of the team. She's not a bystander. She is going in there to try and hold her own on Ultra Nightmare Clanboss. Now, normally I run a team which is Marta, Badel, Vizier, Marta, Badel, Vizier, Razin, Skullcrusher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sub out Vizier and sub her in. Basically means we're going to have a lot of, and I'm going to sub Draco in as well instead of Razin. So we're going to have a lot of poison, a lot of debuffs on. I could Draco, Marta, And I'm going to leave Vizier in for the first run because I want to keep poison sensitivity up for the whole fight and actually just see what sort of damage we're going to kick out with it. I'll show you her in other content soon as well, but for now I just want to show you what I can do. So my first key, full auto, I did 33.54. Typically I do somewhere between 33 and 40 million depending on a bit of RNG. We've actually flicked over already here into the different affinity, which is not ideal because it goes against her. That's not ideal at all. Actually, she's blue affinity, we flicked into a red, so that's not going to help us here. But I'm going to take out my Skull Crusher. I'm still going to go for it anyway. We're going to take out Razin. Do we need to take out Razin? Actually, do we need to? I was going to throw Draco in to get more poison ticks going as early as possible, but I don't know if we need to, so I think we're going to get loads of debuffs on. No, we're not going to. I think we're going to get loads of debuffs up anyway. Yeah, I think we're going to go like this. So this is going to be my first test. So this is high-end Ultra Nightmare Clanboss, and the idea here is to show her off in a team which is literally going up and sometimes 2 keying or at least 3 keying with loads to spare the Clanboss. So she is slower than the rest of my team. She's based on a Nightmare Clanboss build, so she's just going to miss his first attack, but she'll go after that. It's actually quite good for this team because it means that I'm going to get more debuffs up before she gets a turn. So I actually wanted to get decreased attack on ideally already, so I don't want to risk this one. If I risk this one now with 4 debuffs up, it's a 1 in 2 chance. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, so I'm going to let that just run one more turn. Just get a few more debuffs back first. If you're manualing, then you will not use her A2 at all in a speed-tuned team like this. But you could, if you go for a fast speed team, which I'm going to do later in this week, and you definitely could use her A2, and she would actually bring a lot of benefit to you. So we're going to see if I can get poison sensitivity up on the next turn. Let's try it now. So she's basically got a 60% chance of laying it now. She's got it on. See that? Poison sensitivity is up, which now means that any poison damage we've got on there should be ticking for 62.5k. So we're going to get that extended up nice. And now we are just running with... it's actually gone there. Doesn't matter. It does matter. That's annoying. I wanted the stat to come here because she's negative affinity. She's attracting it. And I don't have the speed set up, so the bad L's just going to cleanse that every time. So a bit of a shame, but it's not the end of the world. Keep counter attack going. And you'll see here, so a counter attack, she should lay 2 poisons. She's got a 100% chance to do it, apart from weak hits. 1. So when we've got on here, 4, 5. So she's only got 1 more that she can lay. There you go. She's stacked it up. We're stacked up with poisons. I'm going to let this run through now. I'll cut back in towards the end, and we can see how we've done for damage. So we're just coming up to 8 minutes, or just gone 8 minutes, and we are flying through this. People are about to start to drop. I was just working the numbers through. So to have 1 more stack of poison up instead of poison sensitivity is worth 50,000 damage a turn. But to have poison sensitivity at 25% on 5 poison debuffs is worth 62,500. So you gain an extra 12,500 per turn for having that debuff up instead of a poison. So that's really worthwhile. So she's come into this team. We've done 26 million on a negative affinity. She's kicked in 4 million damage. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for throwing a rare into a Ultra Nightmare Clanboss setup. Albeit the rest of the setups is solid, I know that, but that's still pretty decent. We've only lost, what, 7 million overall damage for losing basically someone who anchors the team with support. So pretty cool. What I'm going to try now is throwing her back into Brutal in a speed setup. So let's take out all of these big boy legendaries. Let's throw in more like a standard build. I'm just going to check some builds and then we'll get this going. Okay, so we're going to run Brutal with this team here. So we've got decreased attack and defense lead. We have got poisons. We've got speed, we've got poison sensitivity and speed boost. We've got decreased defense here. I'm just wondering, actually, I probably could do... I can't really bring a cleanse into this. I could bring Reliquary Tender into here and do a cleanse stroke heal. Maybe that's better, actually. Let's do that. Or I could bring Morsi and Mage in and buff some crit and stuff. Maybe that's better. So we just want to see where she stacks in terms of damage and utility. I'm going to do full auto. So we can get her speed off and see how silly she is on auto and see whether we actually get this poison sensitivity up at all. So obviously the more debuffs that go on, the more chance she's got to lay it. You really want her in a speed team to get that opportunity as often as possible, especially if you're not running a counter attacker. I think in a speed team she can be really effective. So we've not seen it go on yet, and obviously debuffs drop off as well from time to time. So, you know, I guess the stronger your team is in terms of laying those debuffs, the better the chance you're going to get it off. But so far, we've not seen it go on once on auto. Question is she even trying to lay it? I don't know what the animation is actually to see if she's laying it or not. But we're always down to, you know, what, 4 or so debuffs when she's trying, I think. She's definitely got enough accuracy. That's not the problem here. It's whether she's actually trying or not. So she must have tried at least once. Let's take it off of auto and see if she's got it available. It's available now. Let's see if she tries to use it. No, I don't think she's even trying to use it on auto. Let's see if she's still got it. Yeah, she's not tried to use it there at all for some reason. So I'd be interested to know if there's something in her kit that says she'll only use it when there's so many debuffs on. We had 6 there, so that gives her a 70% chance to land it. And on auto, she's not tried to land it once yet. So let's see. So she's still got it. If I try and land it now, go straight on. See that? But that's the first time we've tried to land it, and that's because I've done it on auto. So that's pretty disappointing because it means she'll never lay poisons at all if you auto with her. Now, I don't really understand that at all. That's just bonkers to me if that's the way they've set it up. Because what is the point of her? Yeah, bonkers. I mean, if you've got more than 3, it should be something like if there's more than 3 debuffs up, she goes for it. That means she'd have a 40% chance, which is pretty high. Now, obviously, you can just manual it, which is fine. You know, most people are happy to manual it to a certain degree, but there's also plenty of people that play this game that actually want to set up auto teams. So that's really disappointing, actually. You know, if we were to look, I guarantee she's got it ready to go right now. So we've got 40% chance here. Didn't land it, fine, but at least we're trying. At least we're trying to land it. So anyway, I'm going to let this run through. That's pretty disappointing to see. So it feels like then she is going to be great for a team if you have got the ability to manual. If you're thinking of going auto, you may as well just kind of leave her in the vault in terms of Clanboss, that is anyway. So I'm going to finish this run and then I'll take it into some of the dungeons. So not surprisingly, we've come in pretty low damage. If she got that poison sensitivity up, then we would have been probably more like 17, 18 million. But that is disappointing for anybody that wants to run an auto team. So let's get into some of the other stuff then. Let's throw ourselves... She's not going to be a campaign farmer. There's no point throwing her there. She's not going to be an arena champion. Probably the only other place that you might want to throw her into your team is Ice Golems and Dragons. Quite honestly, Spider, it's not going to be her place. Fire Knights, she's got a 2-hit A1, so she could do some work in Fire Knights, and she's got speed up. Maybe we'll show Fire Knights. So let's go Ice Golems then. Ice Golems, she is just going to, again, because she's not doing her move on auto, basically means that she's only going to be worthwhile to you if you're manualing runs. So let's just take out Mr. Big Boy. Let's just run this a bit differently here. Try and give some sort of sense of normality with a team setup. As we go her. Just trying to make sure I've got some debuffs so that it actually gets landed. The KO in there. Let's try this. Yeah, it feels good. So the idea here is for the waves, all she's really doing for us is speeding us up with her A2. Just regenerating our abilities as quickly as possible, and then yeah, and then basically she's going to be doing A1s other than that, so she's not going to do too much work on waves. But when you get to the boss, you want her to be laying that poison sensitivity so that we get more damage off, basically. Poison ticks don't trigger the boss's main slam, his kind of slam that revives his teammates. So if we can get the damage off through poison, then you're in a really much better position. So again, it'll be interesting just to see whether that actually works or not. But we should get into the boss around just under 2 minutes, I would have thought, which for a team, couple of epics. To be fair, Myth's Great Monster's a great epic, and he's in good gear, but everyone else is just in, I'd say, pretty normal gear. So my... Oh, damn, he's dead. That's not good. Chaos dead. It's not what I was going for. I was about to say my Chaos not in like fantastic gear at all, and then he drops down dead, which kind of personifies the point, but there you go. I should have got Reliquary Tender in just to pick people up. But yeah, so she's nothing special here. I'd say, unless you are... Yeah, she's nothing special for the waves at all. Not at all. This is where you've got a chance of her doing some work. But only, again, if you get your poison sensitivity on the main boss. So, I don't know if it's worth showing you any more. She is not going to be your best bet here, because she doesn't give you any sort of speed up on the waves. It feels to me like her kit is kind of totally built for Clanboss, and then they've not made her AI worked well on Clanboss. So that's pretty disappointing. But if you're comfortable with manualing with her, as I said a minute ago, then she is going to be decent for you. So yeah, I could turn this into manual now. We're still, because I've lost my K, I'm not actually going to have that many debuffs. But I can filter meter, and it's a hit that does it as well. We can decrease defense up, hopefully across the board. I'm not going to be able to get stuns. There's not really much else I can do on the boss here in terms of his debuffs, so it's not going to land. So yeah, I'm just going to come out of this. I think we've seen enough. She's not going to be particularly helpful there, unless you've got a massively poison focused team, in which case she might do a bit more damage, but you'll have to do it manually. So Dragons is a kind of similar story. She'll, once you get onto the boss, if you quit the auto run and manually get the poison sensitivity on, you're going to do more damage, and that'll be helpful. Otherwise, she is mediocre. And Finite's basically the same thing. She does do a 2-hit on the Finite, so she'll do okay, but she's not going to do anything amazing. So it looks like the one area where she's really strong, her AI is a bit buggy, which is disappointing. Really disappointing. I actually thought she was going to be great for that fight, and I thought she would be a shining light for Brutal as well, just to sort of see. Now what I've done here is I've just stripped her gear right back to be more suitable for what people are. Maybe it's still quite high, I don't know, but it'd be much closer to what you'd be getting as someone coming onto that Brutal stage along with these guys. Just kind of strip their gear right back. But yeah, so let me just do a quick rating of her then. So Clanboss, if you manual with her, I think she's a 5. For a rare, she's top notch. Maybe a 4 if I'm being harsh, because compared to some epics and legendaries, she's not quite there with base stats, but she's not far off. So 4 or 5. For a poisoner, I'd say 5. Anywhere else, this is all based now on whether you manual with her or not. If you manual with her on Dragon, she would be a 4. Faction Wars, she hasn't got enough AoE damage or cleanse abilities, that type of thing, to do too much there. Campaign is not very good for her. Arena, I can't see you ever using her in Arena, offense or defense. Finite, she does have a 2-hit A1, and she brings some poison, so I think that's pretty solid damage. Void Keep, probably middle of the road, pretty poor. Ice Golems, middle of the road. She doesn't bring any sort of weaker or anything here, so I don't think that's where you're going to use her. Magic Keep, she's not got anything that's going to help you there, so again I wouldn't use her there. Minotaur, she hold her own, but she's not special. And Spiders is not where she goes. So it sounds like a damning rating, but actually she is a Clanboss specialist really. She'll come into Dragons and do some work for you on Dragons, but she's a Clanboss specialist, but you need to manual with her. So that is Frozen Banshee. This has been Hell Hades. Hope you enjoyed the guide. I'll catch you later.